Okay, so our monarch butterfly on its way down to Mexico gets caught in a little breeze, and he is bouncing around like thus. Well, that makes a polynomial. And this, I can tell you, is not the right equation for that polynomial. And I bet you could tell me a few ways you could be sure that that was not the right equation. Somebody give me one reason that you can tell that that can't be right. Mr. Brady. You are correct. The highest degree on this thing is a 4, so it's a 4th degree polynomial, but yet it's, how were you proving that? Were you talking about how many degree you think it is, or are you talking about odd even? Okay, so since the ends are going opposite directions, like this end's going up and this end's going down, then you know it's an odd one, right? And so therefore it can't be even like that, right? Okay, what else you got? Casey? Excellent. That negative in front of the 3 is wrong. Why? On the right-hand side, it should be going down. You're right. But this is going up, so this should be positive. Reason number 2, that it is wrong. You got another reason in the back. The y-intercept. The y-intercept is where x is 0. That's a phrase I want you to memorize if you weren't in my first semester class. The y-intercept is where x is 0. Well, if I put in a 0, 0, and a 0, that'll cancel off all these. You're right, the y-intercept's 3. And yet the y-intercept is really 175 or whatever that is. Yes? Ah, so you're looking at the x-intercepts, and you're saying there's 1 for that, 1 for that, and 1 for that. What if it had bounced at one of these? What would you get for a bounce? A 2. But anyway, these are all 1s, so therefore there should be a degree 3, right? And it says degree 4. Even if you talk about, well, there could be an imaginary root, imaginary roots always come in sets of 2. So it couldn't be an imaginary root, so you're right. That's another good reason. All right, let's move on. I'm going to show you how to do these, because these are all things that we learned before we started the final prep and then took the final. Okay, this is all stuff you've learned. There shouldn't be anything new here. But I'm going to do one, and then I'm going to have you do one just like this. Okay, the roots. If I write my roots here on this one as, actually, I went one page too far. I want to go back to that one. If I might write my roots here, I've got this one and this one and this one as my roots. If I write -4, 3, and 5, I'm kind of right. How should I make myself completely right about those roots? Hamish. Yes, because they are points, right? And that's at -4, and then it's an x-intercept, so y is 0. So I go 0. And then how do I make that right? By putting it in a point, with the y being 0. X-intercepts are where y is 0, so all right. Next, factored form. You remember how you could write a little factor for this, and a factor for this one, and a factor for this one? This one would be, it's a -4, so I say x plus 4. And this one's a +3, so I say x minus 3, because +3 is supposed to solve it or make it 0. That's why we call them zeros. And then this last one, x minus 5. So then my final answer for factored form would be x plus 4, x minus 3, and x minus 5. And were any of these bounces? If they had been, I would put a little square down them. You remember that? If that had been a bouncy spot. What's that other thing where it could give you a triple root? Inflection. Very good. And then we don't have any of those either. All right. General form. I would generally just multiply this out. If I multiply this out first and then take my answer, which will be a trinomial, and times it by that, then I could get general form. Real roots. Are these real? Yes. Why? Because they are x-intercepts. They're not like imaginary ones that you can't see. All right. Next one is end behavior. It's going down on the left and up on the right. The main thing here is the up on the right, which means that the coefficient must be positive. Increasing versus decreasing interval. From here to here, generally, is it doing increasing or decreasing? It's decreasing. All right, and then let's see, local mins and maxes. This is getting kind of messy, so I'm going to clean it up. This spot right here is important. That's a local what? Max, and this one, local min. And since this is still going up, we have to assume it keeps going up forever and keeps going down forever. There's no min and there's no max, because if you said the maximum is infinity, I say you're wrong, because then I'd say it's actually infinity plus 1. It's always farther than whatever you think. So you can't ever get to infinity. So you say, no, there's no maximum. Okay? And there's no minimum either, because it keeps going down forever. Don't say negative infinity. Say no, none. All right. Let's see if you can answer these 10 questions. I'm going to pause while you answer them. It's going to take you about 5 minutes. This is a total review of what you should have learned before. If you need help, I'm willing to help. See if you can finish by the time the song that I'm about to start is done playing. Okay, the roots. Instead of saying 0 and 3, I'm going to say 0, 0 and what? 3, 0. All right, factored form. Factored form is those sets of parentheses like this. And my first one is for that first. Okay, factored form, I need a 0, so I say x plus 0. Could I just say x for that? Yes, because that'd be simpler. Then the other one is at 3, x minus 3. And that one's special, though. Squared, because why? Because the bounce. Because right there it bounces. Okay, now general form. Well, this is where you'd multiply out what I have up there. Notice x minus 3 times x minus 3 makes the x minus 3 squared here. And that comes out to x squared minus 6x plus 9. And then I times everything by that x that was in front. And then I have x to the third minus 6x squared plus 9x. Raise your hand if you had that one right. Excellent. Okay, next. Real roots? Yeah, we got real roots. 2 for this one plus 1 for that one makes I got 3 real roots. And the imaginary roots, you can't tell by looking at the graph. What you can do is look at your equation and say, this, I'm expecting it to have 3 roots or more, and it's got 3 real roots. So I don't know, it might have imaginary roots. I can't see them. Maybe it's higher than a degree 3. Maybe it's really a degree 5 or something. But from what I can see, it's probably degree 3. All right. And one more thing about my equation. It's actually technically wrong right now. What's a little thing I should fix? Let's go with one of my new people. You need a negative in the front. Why? And it's because it's the mainly you're looking at the right-hand side because it's down to the right. You are right. So whenever it's going down to the right, it doesn't even matter what's happening on the left. On the right, if it's going down, it's negative in front. Okay. Next up, odd or even. Well, they're going opposite directions. It's going down and it's going up. And so what does that tell you? Odd or even? Say it if you know it. Odd. Good. Negative or positive coefficient? That's that down on the right thing. So if it's going down on the right, negative. Increasing or decreasing? I'm just going to do this little zone. From here to here, it was increasing. And so that was from 1 to 3. It was increasing. And should I put brackets or parentheses? Brackets. You are right. It's supposed to be a bracket. Okay. And local min. The local min is this spot right here, which was 1, negative 4. The local max is this spot right here, and it's at 3, 0. And the global min and the global max are none. There's no min and there's no max because it doesn't ever stop going up and it never stops going down. So I say none and none. Raise your hand if you had at least 8 out of 10 of these right. Excellent. Did any of you have 10 out of 10 of these right? So that's okay. You're normal humans. You make a few mistakes every now and then. All right, so there's a quick review. One more brief topic to review is factoring. If I'm going to factor, I need to be good at things like this. X and x, and what multiplies to negative 6 and adds to 5? A 6 and a 1. Should it be negative 6 or a positive 6? Positive 6 and negative 1, and there is writing one in factored form. I'd like you to try this one right here as I stop my tape for the next section.